Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to a live session on Sorrow Dog Trainer channel, my new channel. If you are new here, my name is Sorrow. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners. And in this channel, we tackle dog training, mainly dog reactivity, aggression, and also um, unruly behavior of dogs and how to train them, how to manage them, how to deal with a reactive, unruly, bad behaving dog. And if you're new here and you want to learn how to train your dog using positive reinforcement without the use of aversive tools and methods and focusing on creating a relationship based dog training with your dog using tools such as play and praise to train your dog, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon as well so you will be notified as soon as I go live or also as soon as I post a new video. If you are going to be live in this session, go ahead and ask your questions in the chat area, and I'll do my best to answer your dog related questions. And since we are starting now, and I know that not many people are going to be available for live session, I try to go on certain times of the day that many viewers are online, but we'll see how it goes. Everything looking good. Let me just check if everything is working properly. Let me just check my sound. If you're live. Yes, okay, sound is good. Audio, video is good. Okay, so last time in my live session, I talked about uh, how you could deal with your dog overall behavior, unwanted behavior, and that was me sharing with you the formula of um, providing your dog's daily five essential needs. This is the formula that many dog owners, if they focus on, in my opinion, they can get good results from their dogs and their dogs' overall behavior. If you focus on providing your dog's daily five essential needs, in my opinion, you could 100% remove the unwanted behaviors and replace them with wanted behaviors. And many dog owners, they are struggling to get wanted behaviors from their dog. And the wanted behaviors are the behaviors that most dog owners, they want their dog to repeat on automatically. But the trouble is that dogs, they have to be trained. You as a dog owner, you are training your dog all the time, 24/7. Without knowing, you are training your dog. And training is something that I can go in depth more in maybe in future videos. But today I was thinking to focus on the first need, which is exercise. And we'll just tackle the exercise section today. And then as the weeks go by, as I go live, I will dive into more in depth in the other needs. Today, we're going to focus on exercise and we're going to talk about exercise. Training is important too, but in my opinion, if you provide proper exercise for your dog on regular basis, you will eliminate a lot of unwanted behaviors. So, regular physical exercise is very important, vital for a dog's well-being. It engages in activities that match your dog's energy level. It not only keeps them healthy, but also reinforces your role as a provider of an enjoyable exercise. Let me explain this part because it's very important to understand. You, as a dog owner, most of the time, you're seeing yourself as a person who's just taking care of the dog. But overall, you are providing everything for your dog. Think of it this way: you're a god for your dog. God dog. They are very, they actually work out pretty well. You're you're a god for your dog. So what I mean by that is you are everything to your dog. You're providing everything for your dog. And one of the things that you're providing for your dog is exercise. And if you provide proper amount and proper form of exercise for your individual dog, you will get a lot of benefit, and also your dog is going to benefit from this exercise that you're providing for your dog. Exercise overall, it keeps the body in good shape. When we are working out, when we are, fitness in general, it keeps the body healthy. Fitness doesn't have to be something like, in human world, that you go to gym and that's considered fitness. Fitness is basically whenever you are providing some form of physical stimulation for your dog, movement mainly. The body, because a human body and also especially dog body is structured in a way that is designed for movement. Now, too much movement is not good. Too little movement also is not good. You want to provide enough movement, enough exercise that benefits your dog. You don't want to over exercise. You don't want to under exercise. So, what I mean by that is, for example, as a human being, we are told that we need to exercise, I don't know, half an hour a day minimum. But many humans, they exercise or work out or go to gym for 2 3 hours a day. They love it. And there are people who actually don't go to gym, don't exercise at all, don't do anything, and they suffer. So overall, you want to provide enough exercise for your individual dog. So what I mean by that is your dog is at this stage, wherever stage of life your dog is, could be, a puppy, could be a 3 year old, could be a 6 year old, could be a 10 year old, wherever, whichever stage of your life or their life they are, you have to provide the ideal amount of exercise at that stage. So, for example, a puppy, a young, healthy puppy, who's, let's say, 4 5 6 months old, needs half an hour of exercise 3 4 times a day, whereas a 7 year old dog needs half an hour of exercise per day, because the age difference. There could be that your dog has physical problem, maybe has a joint problem, maybe has an injury in the back, maybe has injury uh, in the in the joints, maybe has health issues. Then you have to consider all those and exercise that dog that amount that is suitable and ideal for that dog, right? So therefore, we can't say that all dogs have to exercise this much of time, this much length. We can't generalize exercise. We have to individualize the exercise level. Now, exercise can come in many different forms. One of them is playtime. Playtime or play is a crucial aspect of a human dog relationship. Choosing games that your dog enjoys and encourages interactive play, this not only provides physical exercise but also enhances your connection. So let me explain a little bit more about this. So as I explained, um, you are God for your dog, right? You are everything for your dog. Most dog owners has have to be reminded all the time. I think this concept. Your dog could be a great partner for you uh, in life, but remember, you are everything for your dog. You are providing life basically for your dog. You're providing food, water, shelter, comfort, um, or even could be that you're providing no food, water, no shelter, no comfort. You're abusing your dog. I don't know. you know, right? Uh, you're everything for your dog. But most dog owners, they provide good things for their dogs, right? So since you are everything for your dog and you're God to your dog, you want to make sure that you're creating an interactive type of play for your dog, that you're not only exercising your dog, but also you're enhancing your connection and your relationship with your dog. Don't just rely on other dogs, for example, to play with your dog and other dogs babysit your dog. That's good. It's good to allow the dog to be a dog and play with other dogs and have a dog moments, but you have to be also involved with your dog, to play with your dog, engage with your dog, interact with your dog on daily basis. This is very important. Not many dog owners do that. Many dog owners, they rely on dog parks, other dogs, toys, interactive toys, and things like that to um, let their dogs to play and interact. Right? Uh, you have to be, excuse me, you have to be taking the time to invest on daily basis to play with your dog, so your dog not only exercises but sees you as the god. You are proving to your dog that you are a god. You are everything to your dog, although you don't have to keep mentioning it, but it helps. Like many dogs, the reason they misbehave or react, one of the reasons is because there's no deep connection between the dog and the dog owner, and the dog is relying on its own abilities to deal with the challenges that faces throughout the day, uh, including reactivity and aggression. But when a dog starts interacting with their human on daily basis and becomes connected in deeper level with their with their owner, when it comes to challenges and struggles throughout the day, they can say, you know what, I can rely on my human because I have interacted with my human, and therefore I can rely on my human. So what I mean by that is, when you play with your dog, when you interact with your dog, play becomes a form of also a challenge. You can create a challenge for your dog when you're playing with your dog, and your dog can say, "Oh, I came I came across this challenge during the play, and my human helped me to solve that challenge uh, as we were playing. So one example that I can share with you is, for example, when I'm playing fetch with my dog, and my dog um, is struggling to either find the toy or is struggling to uh, look for the toy, and it's searching, for example, where is the toy, right? When it's struggling or whenever is having a challenge during the game, I can go and point out. Let me see if I can bring out this video for you as a background to show. Um, so whenever I'm playing with my dog and my dog is saying, "Oh, where is the ball?" Oh, my human found the ball and is interacting with me, and my dog says my human is able to solve this problem and help me find the toy that it was lost for a minute, for a second, but it found it, right? It found it, and it solved the problem. You can use play as a way of not only, benefit of play and exercise and all that, but you can also use it as a tool to create ways to solve problems with your dog, for your dog, and therefore your dog sees you as, okay, I can rely on my human. I can depend on my human. You know what I mean? Okay, we have a question. Okay. Hi, Sorrow. What are your thoughts on socialization? Oh, okay. Socialization. My dog is not yet the sex, so he only gets to meet dogs through the fence, or maybe only 1 or 2 times a week. A random dog will come to us in the park. Still think this is socialization. Am I wrong? So yeah, today I was going to talk about mainly exercise, but I can touch base on socialization as well. No problem. We can talk about socialization as well. Um, I'll share some tips with you as well. No problem. So as I was saying, let me bring my part. I'm just going to quickly finish this part, and then we'll talk about socialization. Um, so the other benefits of playtime or exercise is you're spending quality time together, right? So regular quality time spent with your dog is crucial for building a strong bond as well. So you're creating a bond as well when you're playing with your dog. So that's why I highly suggest you to interact with your dog, engage with activities that your dog enjoys, such as walking, going for a walk with your dog, playing with your dog, and simply relaxing together. It's a quality time that you're spending, and that makes it even better. And the other thing that is really good to provide for your dog is routine and consistency when it comes to exercise and playing and activities and things like that. Dogs thrive on, they love routine, right? And when you establish a daily routine for, let's say, feeding, walking, or playing, or um, doing things that you do every day with your dog, it helps your dog to be able to predict what's going to happen. And when they can predict what's going to happen, that brings peace and consistency, and peace and happiness to your dog. So those are the main benefits of uh, playing and exercising your dog on regular basis. So you want to play with your dog games that your dog really loves and spend good quality time together. invest half an hour a day, maybe, for so-called spending quality time together, uh, and create that routine. So, for example, every day at 12 o'clock, for example, you play with your dog. Your dog gets used to the idea, okay, every day at 12 o'clock, I get to play with my human. That that's great. That brings, joy and happiness to your dog. They love the consistency that every day at 12 I get to play. So focus on providing regular physical stimulation for your dog. So um, Ash Sharma, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Ash Sharma. Um, your question is, your dog is not neutered yet. Neutered, yeah. It's a he. Hasn't been neutered and gets to meet dogs through the fence, or maybe one or two times a week, a random dog. Now, my thoughts on socialization is, let me bring my notes here so we can talk about it. Um, since you mentioned it, so let me see if I can bring this a little bit closer so you can see. So we want to focus on provide exposure to various environments. So first of all, it's various environments. So you want to make sure that your dog is exposed to various environments. Take your dog to different places, such as parks, different cities, maybe different parts of the city, uh, beaches, vet clinics, anywhere that you can. Take your dog on regular basis. This exposure helps your dog to become adaptable and less fearful in new environments. So, socialization is not just to dogs. It's a package that you have to kind of focus on. That's what I mean. It's not only okay. We have to, because we have a dog. We have to uh, socialize our dog with other dogs. Uh, you want to socialize and allow your dog to meet other different people, not only just the people that you're hanging out. you know uh, if strangers can come to you and say hi to you and your dog, that's perfect. To allow your dog to interact with various people, including different ages, different genders, different ethnicities. Very important. Many, for example, ethnicities, they smell different. Every person smells different. Every gender smells different, feels different, looks different. Every age also smells and looks and feels different. So you want to introduce all these, sight, scent, feel, look of different people to prevent fear or reactivity and aggression towards specific type of individual. So, for example, many dog owners, they they say that my dog is reactive towards kids, or my dog is reactive towards men, or my dog is reactive towards I don't know, this ethnicity. Uh, the reason for that is because the dog hasn't been socialized or exposed to various people. So focus on that. So make sure that you're not just focused on dogs. Dogs are also important. You want to interact with other dogs as well, uh, but gradually exposing your dog to other dogs, um, and also making sure that you're controlling this exposure to other dogs is very important. Now, when it comes to dogs to dogs, it's a it's something that I have to kind of explain a little bit more about it. Um, so you have to, understand and kind of know your dog in a deeper level. What I mean by that is many dog owners, they think they know their dog, but you have to really know your dog in a way that makes sense to your dog. So what I mean by that is just because you have a dog, it doesn't mean that your dog has to be introduced to other dogs. Not all dogs like dogs. If your dog likes dogs, go ahead and allow it to interact with other dogs, get introduced to other dogs. If your dog is not very dog motivated and mostly people motivated, likes people mainly, I would focus mostly on providing what your dog likes rather than what um, society tells you to do. The reason for that is because we want to provide a dog's daily five essential needs. A dog's five essential needs, not your needs, right? Uh, so if your dog is not social with dogs, doesn't like dogs, I wouldn't force it to socialize with other dogs. Although, through the fence, it's a good idea, it's safe and secure, but it also causes a little bit of stress in your dog because there is that physical barrier between themselves, the dogs, and that can cause a little bit of tension and aggression to develop. Going to the park and randomly meeting other dogs and having good interactions is very good. Um, Let me see. I agree 100%. I do 15 to 20 minutes first thing in the morning where he chases balls frisbee in the front yard, then a 10-minute walk at the park, and he goes sleep for good 5 to 6 hours. That's a good routine. Again, when you create a routine, it becomes it becomes a little bit more not only predictable, as I said, it becomes a little bit more um, relaxing for the dog to know, okay, this is what we're going to do. Like, we play for 15, 20 minutes and then we go for a walk. That routine itself creates predictability, and when the dog can predict what's going to happen, that brings relaxation and peace to your dog, which is great. It sleeps for 5 to 6 hours after that, which is great. We go to different park every day so he can see people playing sport or running or kids. Okay, very good. Yeah, that's a good also exposure. Um, I'm not saying to go and force your dog again to interact with people and kids and stuff, but if you see, okay, it's sensitive towards like people running, then work on that. But the issue is he doesn't want anyone to touch him. Like even when my friends come over, he would take a treat, etc., but not let anyone touch him. He would growl, but he just ignores people after smelling them. Now, that's an interesting point that you're bringing. So this is why I'm saying, we don't have to force our dogs to do what the society tells us. I'm not saying be a rebel and you do everything against the society. But what I'm saying is do what, let, allow your dog to do what it feels more natural, comfortable to your dog. So at this age, at this stage, at this point of your dog's life, he feels that people are a little bit questionable, right? So when a dog feels that way, what you're going to have to do is you have to let the dog to decide what to do and then make decisions based on that. One of the problems that I have, and this is very common, many dog they let the people to give treats to the dog, thinking that that makes the dog to associate positivity with the human. But the problem is, for example, if your dog is scared of people, when you uh, give treats, when the treat is being given at that moment, in your mind, you're saying, I'm providing a positive reinforcement to my dog. But your dog at that moment is feeling scared and anxious with people. So when you give treats, you are actually uh, emphasizing and rewarding being scared and anxious with people. That's the reason I don't, first of all, I don't like using food and treats to reward as a reward tool for dogs. The reason for that is one, it's it's very hard for average regular dog owner to figure this out, that am I rewarding the right state of mind. The right state of mind is very important. If your dog is excited to see humans and you reward that dog with treats also, uh, it's not that it's not a good thing. you know uh, it's actually, you're you're rewarding the excitement, right? So what you want to do is, you don't want to reward the dog anything when it comes to behavior, when it comes to psychology. You want to allow the dog to figure it out on its own and make decisions on its own and solve that problem mainly on its own, but it needs a little bit of help and support from you. Now, the way you provide that help and support is by you actually uh, being being neutral, being casual, normal. That hey, in a human world, in for example, humans come, people, guests come to our house. Um, we sit, we chat, we hug each other. Let the dog know and experience this, that this is what happens in a human world. And as a dog, he has to learn that this is normal, natural way of humans living in human world. And I'm a dog and I have to understand this and I have to learn this and I have to manifest this and learn to be adjusting myself to this situation and condition. Now, because that is what's happening in your dog's mind, um, your dog could be either excited about guests coming, your dog could be afraid, your dog could be anxious, your dog could be aggressive at that moment when humans are there and interacting together. And in your mind, you're saying, I'm going to give treats to my dog, so to reward my dog. Let's see it from two ways. One, you're thinking and you're rewarding. So, first of all, in your mind, you're rewarding your dog, but you're rewarding the wrong mental state, which is not good. And yet on the other side, in even though you're thinking you're rewarding, you're not rewarding your dog. In that cases, in most of the time, most cases like that, food, especially, or treats or rewards can become negative association, can become negative, can have negative results, can become negative stimulation. It actually can backfire when you use food or treats or in general reward when it comes to the situation when the dog is either happy, excited, nervous, anxious, fearful, or aggressive, right? Uh, you wanna you wanna make or help the dog to understand that that situation, for example, is neutral, not that is, oh, I get reward when people come home or when guests come home or when this happens, I get reward. You don't want your dog to associate a situation with a reward in a way. You know what I mean? John, the Beagle Dad is in the house, says Rue gets me accident in the house yesterday 2 times. I took him immediately. You're still having that trouble, eh? Uh, Ash Sharma says, no, I have been following you for a long time. I don't give the treats. I ask the visitors to give it to him. It doesn't matter. You're still giving treats. Uh, so I hope you understand this concept that we don't want to, whether it's coming from you or the visitors, we don't want to give, first of all, treats. And second of all, we don't want just reward the dog um, for a behavior. It's very important to understand this part. So, for example, um, if I'm invited to a party and I go to this party and um, nothing exciting happens, right? There's no music, people are just sitting around chatting among themselves, and nothing really, there's no food, there's no drinks, nothing is happening, nothing exciting, nothing happening. For me, when I get there, I'm going to say, you know, in a human mind, we're going to say, oh, this party is boring. But from my perspective, I'm getting nothing, not, I'm getting the vibe that this is type of party that this this is the style of this party. So I adjust myself based on the vibe of that party. And I don't dance. I just go and find somebody and start chatting and very, hey, how you doing? Yes, what's happening? What's going on? Just I get used to that, right? But imagine if I go to a different party and the DJ is playing the hottest songs. Most people are dancing. It's loud. Everybody's, hey, what's up? What's going on? And I go in that party. That's the vibe. I start interacting in that situation differently. Now it's a party too, but hey, what's going on? Hey, I start dancing and I start enjoying the environment, and that's the vibe that I get. So that's the energy that this party is bringing, right? And the only thing that kind of stimulates me or rewards me on both parties is the environment, is the energy that brings to me, right? It shines on me. So I want the dog also to go to a party, whichever party, and figure out the party and say, okay, this is the vibe that I get in this party, and this is the vibe that I get in this party, right? There's no reward. They feel the energy of that party. You don't have to reward a dog because you never know what you are rewarding. Am I making sense? Your dog could be, you know, the problem that I have in most cases is that most dog owners, they are not able to read their dog properly, the body language, everything. And most of the time, we don't know exactly what is happening, especially internally in the dog's mind and body. We don't know if the dog is excited. We don't know if the dog is happy. We don't know if the dog is anxious. We don't know if the dog is stressed. We don't know if the dog is aggressive. We don't know what's going on internally. And if you reward the dog in that moment, you're going to be rewarding one of those, or most of those, or all of those, right? And you don't want to reward any of those, actually. Even if your dog, let's say, is happy to see, or uh, excited to see people, you're going to be rewarding the excitement, happiness. And what's going to happen next time? Your dog, as soon as people come home, starts getting excited and happy, and then gets excited expecting to be rewarded, and wants treats. And if you don't provide treats, then it gets anxious because it didn't get rewarded for being excited when the guest came. And then that leads to another behavior that starts. Now your dog starts demanding treats when guests are coming. And then you're going to say, I have to fix this problem now. You know what I mean? I have to fix the excitement now. Uh, and then what happens is you're causing another problem to develop. So therefore, it's a vicious cycle of unwanted behaviors that are being developed constantly by just the idea that I have to reward my dog. That's very interesting. You're saying, could it be my lack of leadership when people come over? I do have him on a leash at all times when someone is over, as he is about 55 kilogram now. Yes. So I like the idea that you're putting him on leash. That gives definitely the idea to your dog that you're in charge. But is your dog excited? Is your dog, we don't know, right? We don't know where your dog is. So that's where your approach to how you're going to deal with this situation is very important, right? Yes. Yes, I like the, yeah, active, being active chat. Yes. So I like the idea that you're keeping your dog on a leash, which provides that assurance to your dog that I can't just be doing whatever I want. So the good things about putting a dog on a leash is that when you, for example, when you don't put the dog on a leash, and for example, the guests come in your house, your dog has many choices to make. It can go and jump on them. It can go and bark at them. It can go and bite them. It can go and run away from them. It can go and hide. It can go and uh, pee on them. It can go and sit on them. All those options are open to your dog. But when you put the dog on a leash, you're giving the dog one option because you're taking away all those other options, right? Now that one option that is left, what option is that is going to help the dog to deal with this situation? So that is where you you work on not just not just uh, the training. That is when you say, okay, have I exercised my dog today? Have I trained my dog today? Have I socialized my dog today? Have I provided care and have I provided affection for my dog? Have I provided these five essential needs for my dog? Have I provided these five things for my dog, this package for my dog? If you provide this package for your dog, then you will be able to control that situation better. So, for example, if you know that your guests are coming, let's say you either know that the guests are coming or you don't know if the guests are coming. So, if you know the guests are coming, let's focus on providing my dog's exercise. So, get that out of the way. Let's do some training. Training is, in situations like this, that one thing that your dog has to focus on, that's where the training comes in handy. That one thing, when you're putting the dog on a leash, when the guests are coming, you're asking your dog to do one thing, and that one thing is what you have practiced and trained your dog to do when the dog is on a leash. Socialization is something that you have practiced socialization previously, not just today. Every day you're practicing socialization with your dog, and today when you have guests, you're practicing a little bit more, and you're also gauging to see how your dog is um, dealing with this situation that the guests have come. Today we were expecting guests. Let's see how my dog is going to react towards the guests when we have practiced exercise training and socialization before. Let's see today. Let's gauge it. Let's figure out where we are. Is my dog listening to me when I have it on leash? Is it paying attention to me, or is it ignoring me completely and it's freaking out and it's scared and it's excited or whatever it is, right? And then on daily basis, again, you're providing care and then you're sharing affection, right? So this is the formula that you're working on. The guests are coming, you knew it. If you don't know that the guests are coming and the guests all of a sudden show up, and your dog is either freaking out or celebrating that people are there, or uh, being aggressive and anxious and stressed and scared or whatever it's happening, you have to understand, uh, did I have I exercised my dog today? Maybe not enough. That's why my dog is freaking out or it's excited. Have I done any training in the past week or month or year or so? Have I been training my dog at all on daily basis? Have I socialized my dog? So, and care and affection provided all these. Have I done this? And if I haven't done this, then that's the reason I'm getting these results, right? So it's not, again, only one thing that you have to say, okay, this is one thing that I have to do in order to fix this problem. It's a combination of five things that you have to provide on daily basis, on regular basis for your dog. That, as I said in the beginning, if you provide your dog's daily five essential needs every day, at least for a few months, then it becomes a routine. It becomes a schedule that your dog knows that it's going to happen. It's going to get used to it, and it's going to um, help you to deal with situations such as dogs at the dog park, people in the house, dog in the backyard. All these things, all these situations are going to be easier for you to uh, fix and adjust. And also, it's going to be easier for your dog to deal with, especially in situations that are unknown and unpredictable. So it's not only a matter of do I need to reward my dog when guests come? It's a matter of how I provided my dog's daily five essential needs when my guests are here. Is that making sense? I hope that makes sense. You know, most of my students, when I work with them, I have a program that I coach them on weekly basis, and we work on um, their challenges with their dogs. Um, One of the things that we work on is figuring out this formula, like specifically for them, this individual family, this individual dog. We specifically start figuring out these things as we go along, right? Every week we start working on one part, or every week we work on, uh, every few weeks we analyze where we are, we adjust it, we either, I suggest them to exercise more or exercise less, or train more or train less, socialize more or socialize less. All you provide this type of care for your dog, and don't share too much affection or share less affection or more affection. We adjust all these, right? And we fix those things, because it's not a matter of wanting, it's a matter of the package. As I said, you have to figure out uh, how to help the dog to tolerate everything when it comes to living with humans. John the Beagle says, Beagle Dad says, yeah, I do keep him on a short leash in the house. Very good. Yes, I suggest, especially when you have a puppy and your dog, overall, the purpose of having a dog on a leash is not only uh, to tell them what to do and what not to do. It's good idea because it prevents them from making mistakes. You have a better control over your dog. It gives the dog one thing to focus on, and also it eliminates you uh, being stressed, and you're you're controlling your dog, and you know where your dog is, you know what your dog is doing. All those things brings peace and happiness to you and to your dog. Don't see the having the dog on a leash as a negative thing. See it as a positive thing. Um, will you be doing more reaction videos? Would love to see some insight on e-collars. Currently, one to a week. I take him on long lead 20 meter and train him with recalls. Yes, I will be doing more reaction videos to other dog trainings and dog training methods. I think it's a good way of not only expressing my point of view on dog training overall, but it's a good way of, for example, yeah, talking about e-collars and things like that. Um, I don't recommend people, again, to use e-collars overall, because as you brought this example, for example, today that we were talking about, guests coming in the house, and uh, you asking your guests to give treats to your dog, because we don't know what state of mind your dog is. Externally they could be doing this, but internally it doesn't mean that they are happy or excited or joyful. Internally they could be um, feeling afraid, feeling anxious. Body language is of a dog is a little bit complicated than humans, and understanding what we are rewarding and what we're not rewarding is very sensitive subject. Therefore, I don't recommend rewarding or not rewarding a dog in that moment, uh, including when it comes to shock collars or e-collars. We don't know what we are actually uh, using the shock collar for. Shock collar is basically 99.9% of the time is used for correction, and that 0.1% I would say is abuse. Right? Although I can argue with that it's the opposite. 99.9% you're abusing the dog, and 1% your goal is to correct. We don't know what we are correcting. We don't know if we're correcting the dog because it's happy. Are we correcting the dog because it's reacting? Are we correcting the dog because it's afraid? Are we correcting the dog because it's uh, scared? We don't know what we are correcting. And that's why I don't suggest using, especially shock collars, um, because it's very hard to predict and detect what we are doing, right? Uh, we're still not in that situation and position to say we know exactly what dogs think. That's why we are rewarding or not rewarding this behavior. We're not there yet as human beings. We haven't figured out that part yet. We still don't know many things. Many people they think they know. For example, uh, um, how the universe works, but we have no idea. We are just starting to learn how the universe works. Still don't know why there are 7 days. Is there 7 days a week? Or we just made that up? You know what I mean? We don't know anything, right? We still don't know anything, especially when it comes to dogs. We don't know everything. So we can't say, I'm a dog behaviorist. I know exactly what dogs think. No, nobody can tell you that. If you could tell how dogs think and feel, you are not human. You're something else. So yeah, I will be doing more reaction videos. It's a very good idea to put him on a long leash and go for walks and work on recalls and all those good stuff. Good stuff. Uh, I've never used it. I'm just wondering what the next step would be to get his recall to be perfect. At parks, 20-meter leash. If I recall him, he will come 70-80%. Otherwise, I have to go get him and correct. So the park is not where you practice recall. The park is where you gauge the practice. So, for example, 70-80% your results you're getting, that means you're not ready yet for off leash, right? So you want to practice not at the park. So I break it down. The levels that you have to train your dog is first at home, second is the backyard, third is front yard, fourth is street, fifth is the park. So you're at the park. You're on the fifth level. You skipped level 1, 2, 3, 4. So go back, fix those, practice those areas first, and then get to the park. Park is the last place you practice. The first place you start practicing is at home. Second is backyard. Third is front yard. Fourth is on the streets, and then park. Many people, many dog owners, they make this mistake of going and practicing in the dog park. The dog park is the last place you practice. And many dog owners, they choose that as the first place to practice. I hope that makes sense. John says, I wanted to try an e-collar with a vibrator and beeping function, but not sure. I wouldn't even suggest that because, first of all, you're going to be relying on tools, which is not a good idea. I don't recommend people rely on tools. Plus, when you use a vibrator or beeping function, you're adding a different distraction. Your voice, your hand signals, your interaction should be the main vibrator or beeping function. You should be the one. If you're going to replace yourself with vibrator and beeping functions, right, then what's the point of having a dog? You are the best thing to your dog, and you should be the only thing that your dog responds to, not to the vibrator or beeper. Make sense? Recalls with the puppy beagle seems impossible. That's because, again, you're skipping those steps. Home, backyard, front yard, street, park. Practice at home, make it 100%, make Portos to respond to your recall 100% in the house where there's no distractions. Get 100% results 100% of the time, and then move to backyard. Make sure that he listens and comes 100% of the time in the backyard. And then if that works, then go to streets, back front yard, and practice it in the front yard. Because the reason we're doing this is because we're adding more and more distractions all the time. Most dog owners, what they do, like they go in at the park and expect the dog to respond to the recall. When you do that, 60% of the time, it works 100%. Have you heard that concept? 60% of the time, it works 100%. That's what you get when you go and start practicing at the dog park. He knows sit. Teaching him off is going to be challenging. Yes, especially when you have a beagle, it's a different situation, different behavior, different dog. You have to approach it differently. What I've been doing is getting on his level when he jumps on people, touch his collar and stay off, holding him down for a few seconds. He gets excited to see people, and I let him know it's okay and stay off. John, I don't know if you have been able to, I don't think so, because I haven't got the notification from you. You haven't gone through the lessons. So you have the lessons, go through the lessons and practice those. Yeah, practice at home. That's good idea to cross the street. It's a good exercise to ask the dog to sit before crossing the streets. And Don't use parks yet because he's distracted very easily. Very good. Yes. You keep saying that, but nothing. You're not doing it. You got to do it. Before your puppy turns to become an adult, you have to know what you're supposed to do. Don't waste time now. Take the time to go through the lessons and review them and start practicing those before it's too late, before your uh, Portos becomes a year old, and then it's going to be harder, and you're going to say, Sorrow, my Beagle Portos doesn't listen to me at all, and then you're going to regret. So don't waste time now. You have a puppy, you have a blank page to start creating your ideal Beagle. So take the time to go through the lessons, invest time and effort now before it's too late. Okay. All right. I think I went through all the questions. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this live session. I'll be doing more often on my new channel, and I'll go live. If you enjoyed this live video, give it a thumbs up. Share this video with other dog owners as well. If you have any questions or you're watching this after the live session, go ahead and ask the questions in the comments area. I'll be reading them and answering them. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next time. And until next time, have fun with your dog. Take care.